It's amazing what ends up on our phone.
Everything does, yes.
Because you don't have to watch a WNBA game, but you're going to be inundated with Caitlin Clark.
Correct.
Even if you don't, you don't care, you're not concerned, you don't like, you will get Caitlin Clark.
I don't.
And especially this morning after there was a couple of altercations in last night's game. Yes, Eden.
I don't watch the WNBA. If truth be told, I'm really not all that interested in Caitlin Clark or like the rivalries or really any of those storylines. I'm not all that interested in Angel Reese or whatever is going on. And it's my entire social media. I don't search it out. I don't look for it. I don't Google stats. I don't do anything even remotely related to women's basketball. And it's 75% of my social media.
Well, on Sunday with the U.S. Open, one website had one article about the U.S. Open, and I think 5 articles about Caitlin Clark's performance against the Liberty. Might have been more than that. Might have been like 6 or 7 articles on that and just one on the U.S. Open. I mean, this is what, kind of being a sports fan is nowadays. It's what's on my phone. Well, then that must be the most popular thing going on, or I need to know more about this just because they're trying to get clicks, and then more clicks, it's going to be even more prominent. And then if they realize that you're digesting this, consuming this, let's put out even more of that. Like Shedeur Sanders. People are interested. They're interested. Or they wouldn't keep putting this out. Micah Parsons' contract. They're interested. That's why you put it out. It's the other thing that they don't put out. And they should be covering, we should be covering sports. But unfortunately, we don't. We play the hits, or networks play the hits. I play what interests me, and hopefully what interests me interests you, or a guest that can accompany that. But, I get it with LeBron. You don't have to watch a Laker game, and I could pretty much go from social media what's going on with LeBron James or Luka Doncic's weight. These are the things that make you click, things that make you go click. Yes, Paulie.
You're absolutely right about the cycle of it. And would it be a Caitlin Clark play or a play of Shedeur Sanders? These websites task their young employees with pumping out content that feeds that beast.
Yeah.
So when there isn't a story about Clark or whoever it may be, they find one, they create one, and they do it. And because it gets the anger and the ire of people and they click on it either to hate read it or read it and comment on it, it feeds that. If you ever want it to stop, you stop clicking, you stop commenting, they'll stop doing it.
Yeah, I had somebody from the mothership who's a friend, and he said, why do you critique our rundown and stories that we cover? I said, because I used to be there. I mean, I know what goes on there. And Shedeur Sanders in June? Dak Prescott's legacy in June? And he says, we're serving our audience. I said, well, it's like serving them the same thing because they don't know there's another restaurant. Like, hey, here's McDonald's. Man, this is great. Then all of a sudden you give them another meal and you go, wait a minute. I didn't know about this. You're serving them, but are you serving them or over-serving them? Yes, Pauline.
That's exactly it. It's an over-serving based off the analytics. And if something doesn't get clicks, it does not get coverage. Like you said, I was reading a sports website and their feed on Sunday, and it's like no updates on the U.S. Open, a pretty major sporting event on a Sunday, and tons on other things that had nothing to do, third-string quarterbacks and so forth.
And, Caitlin Clark is going to get more coverage than Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers and needing to win this game. And it's not her. It's just they know that will get clicks. And it won't be – nobody's going to talk about how many points she scored last night. They won't. They'll show you a couple of incidents there where there was some pushing and shoving and some hard fouls there. It's just like when Caitlin Clark had that unbelievable performance against Liberty. I don't think anybody mentioned that Sabrina Ionescu had 34 points in that game because nobody cares. Yes, Marv.
Nobody knew the Liberty was undefeated.
Yeah, no, you're right.